So welcome once again. This is Arrow's Education Study Abroad webinar series. I think this is our third session this year. And then this afternoon, we have a speaker, Daniel Lee, as many of you would have been aware from the advertisement and the posters that you have received. Daniel Lee is a very experienced education consultant with experience across the top 5 countries that also include all the ones that we are covering. So today she's going to be speaking on studying in Australia, New Zealand, and Ireland. So she's going to answer your questions at the end of the presentation, but of course she's going to start by presenting some of the important things that you need to know if you want to study in any of these 3 countries. As we all know, from time to time, we try to update us with information regarding admission processes, admission requirements, and immigration requirements as well for student visa, as well as opportunities that may be available, especially regarding affordable options, scholarships, studentships, and other opportunities that you can take advantage of if you want to study in any of the countries that we are covering. So this afternoon, Daniel will be speaking to us regarding Australia, New Zealand, and Ireland. I would like to invite Ms. Daniel Lee to come on board now for her presentation. When she's done, we will go ahead with the question and answer session as well. So thank you very much and welcome once again. Daniel?
Okay, thanks for inviting me, and I will say hi to everyone here. And today is Saturday. How's your day? Yeah, so let me start my presentation now. If you have any question, you can put in the chat box and we will actually address to your questions after the presentation. Okay, so I will start with Australia first, and I'll have another colleague will be talking about Ireland later on. Okay. Hi everyone. So what we do, like just now, Bonzet already present to you what we do. So what we actually do here is we are not only a traditional base of the recruitment admission for you as a services. So we will help you to using the largest platform in the world to help you to access to the eligibility admissions to all the universities in the world. Okay. So now, of course, we can actually talk about the affordability for you to go to study overseas. So for example, like in Australia, a university, how much it costs? A university in Australia actually costs you roughly in about $24,000 as an average. But of course, some of the university, they might actually charge lower fee too, roughly around 15,000 Aussie dollar for a year as a tuition fee. And of course, some of the diploma programs will cost you about 10,000 Aussie dollar a year as a tuition fee, which is very, very affordable for you to actually study in Australia. So as you can see here, we actually converted into USD, so it's easier for you to understand. For cost of living, currently the government set a higher requirement. So remember that when you're talking about studying in Australia, the living cost now, which is set by the government, is to be having at least living cost 29,000 Aussie dollar in your bank account for the last 4 months, which is every month, past 4 months, you have 29,000 in your bank account, or your parents or your uncle or your auntie that can become your sponsor. Then you'll be able to apply for the visa. And of course, for the tuition fee, roughly depends on which university you go to. If you're going into a university which is charging you 10,000, or going into a university which is charging you 12,000 or 15,000, or maybe up to 24,000 dollar, then how is the visa part, which is you need to apply for the visa, which is equivalent to 1 year living cost and tuition fee. So total costing here 42,000, which is you need to have with your sponsor so that you'll be able to proceed for the visa application. So Australia currently quality is top 3 in the world, but of course living costs depends on which location you go to. Melbourne, Sydney will be much more higher in terms of living cost. But if you go to like, which you call Wales area, if you go into the Tasmania area, then of course will be much more cheaper in terms of the living cost and the tuition fee. Okay, so basically overview of Australia is we have actually having a capital in Canberra. So most of the students, they might actually go to like Australian National University, but the university here, which is a high-ranked university, so the tuition fee might be slightly higher, but they do offer scholarship too. Okay, so all the university overseas, they have offer scholarship, but really depends on your results in your high school, or your result in your degree program, or your result in your diploma program. You might get the scholarship up to 50%. Okay, so it really depends on your result. Okay, remember when you want to check for scholarship eligibility or study in Australia, for example, you want to study in Melbourne, Sydney, or either in capital of Canberra, you need to send the result to Arrows, and Arrows will be checking on the eligibility for you. Okay, and of course, we also check on scholarship, we also check on the living cost for you to know of. And of course, as you can see here, very pretty cities, states that you can enjoy the environment, sceneries, beaches, and of course, you have four seasons too, which is we doesn't have it in our home country, right? So in Australia, they are one of the top 10 education system in the world. That's why we are actually very proud to introduce Australia education. So wherever you go to Australia, you will see that, okay, I'm graduating with these universities, and it is widely known by the world about this university. Understand? So wherever you wanted to go for working in any other country with that certificate is recognized worldwide. Okay, and of course, some of the time we're also looking at if the university, they're looking at the entry requirements. So that's why we need Arrows on hand, you know, as a consultant, as a professional counselor, for you to advise how much scholarship you can get, you know, with this budget, which universities and which location you can go to. Okay, and of course you can also work while you are studying, because you can earn some income from your part-time job. Okay, and also from your so-called full-time job or internship. Okay, so most of the students, when you're actually looking at so-called a full-time job while during your semester break, you can do so, because during your semester break, you don't have any classes. You can actually apply for a full-time job with the assistant from the Career Services Department. And if you wanted to work for part-time job, you'll be having to work up to 48 hours per fortnight. And of course, most of the students, you can actually looking at working, for example, Aussie dollar $20 per hour as the earning. Okay, if you're working at different area in Australia, of course, we will see which area will be charging different kind of the part-time income for you to earn. Okay, and of course, some of the students, you might also consider like if you wanted to enjoy a quality of life in Australia, you can consider to do so, because we will be ranking as a second in the world as quality of life, and we also ranking as 7th in the best country ranking in the world. And of course, most of the students, they like to go to Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, which is considered as the top 10 best city to live in Australia. Okay, and you also felt very welcome in the multicultural society. There is not much of I would say, a little bit of racism, but not too much, because they are very friendly community in Australia. 25% of Australians' populations are born overseas, and 270 languages are spoken in Australia, and most of the religion also practiced there. So you can visit different kind of sceneries, zoos, sea and beaches. You can do diving, swimming at the reef or the beaches, or hiking in the world's largest national park. Okay, so there are many things that you can do in Australia while you're actually studying there too. And also improve your job opportunity after graduation, because we are as a foreign students while we are studying in Australia. We speak different languages, we host different skill sets and knowledge. And of course, while we are graduating, you can also consider to actually get an internship or get a co-op jobs, with the assistance from the university's career services department, and you'll be able to prolong your visa later on. And of course, there are some students, they're also considering, I actually completed my diploma in Nigeria or any other country. I want to continue my studies to Australia, whether we can do so. Yes, you can do that, because in Australia, we have, we have secondary schools, primary schools, we have universities, master, PhD. So there are no worries. If you have kids, you want to bring along your kids to go to study in Australia, also can, no problem. Okay, and we also have technical program, which is train you to be career-based focused studies. So wherever you go into vocational training program, this kind of courses is a technical institutions, private colleges, you are actually being trained to get a job when you are upon graduation. So this kind of skill set, this kind of education, you will not be actually to find it in any other so-called country, because vocational training, VET, is only in Australia. Okay, and the entry requirement is very low. I would say that it's not too high. So as long as you actually got passes in your grade 11, you'll be able to eligible to go to the VET program. And of course, higher education, we're looking at degree, master, or PhD program, that if you actually finish your diploma in your local country, or you finish in Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, no problem. We can still transfer some credits to go to continue study your degree in Australia. For example, if you finish year 2 in Malaysia in the university, or you finish year 2 degree in your local country there, you wanted to transfer credits to Australia, we can try to get the credit transfer to Australia too, no problem, because they are actually open to do the syllabus matching. But we have to confirm that your university teaching now, diploma or degree, is teaching in English too. So that is same as English teaching method, so that we can do the credit transfer. And for master program, is we have course-based, research-based, thesis-based, and it's considered about 1 to 2 years time, and depends on how is your results in your degree program. And once you actually normally we take it in like second upper and above for the entry of master program for a good university in Australia, which is high ranking. But if you have second lower honors degree, also no problem, we can try to match for you to go to study master in Australia. Okay, and of course, most of the students, they also considering, as I said, go for web program, technical program, diploma, or associate degree, which is after associate degree, you are eligible to find a job, to work first. So maybe you can actually earn more money first, and before you progress to year 2 and year 3 of the bachelor degree, because you completed associate degree first 2 years, then you continue for your bachelor degree. And of course, we are actually governed by the CRISCO, which is the student visa environment. So all the Australian government will issue the visa letter, which is called COE, for you to actually, the university will issue the COE for you to apply for the visa once you accepted the offer letter by paying the deposit to accept the offer. So after you have done this step and you will get the COE, then we will be able to register for the visa. And CRISCO is the recognized program which is under the government. So only the universities that under this so-called CRISCO, you will be eligible for the postgrad work permit. Okay. And of course, we have pathway program. As I said, we have foundation program, web program, diploma program, English language intensive or bridging courses. Apply first with academic results and your transcript. So we can do the IELTS submission later if the IELTS cannot be waived. Okay, so most of the time, our students, if they already done their if they already done their degree or done their diploma in a local country or any other country, and the university are teaching English, we can get a medium of instruction letter so that we can try to get the waiver from the university in Australia. But most of the time, I would say if you wanted to have a more secure visa approval rate, a higher approval rate, then better after we get the offer letter, then you submit the IELTS or TOEFL or PTE as a supporting requirements, and also we can submit for the visa application. Then it will increase the visa approval rate. Okay, and of course we also have K-12 school in Australia. If you have any kids, or siblings, they wanted to go into the senior high school or secondary school, yes, we can actually apply for you too, for your kids and for your siblings. And we just need the last 2 years of the academic performance and the teacher reference letter or the teacher reference name, email, contact, designations. Then we will arrange the applications, submissions, and we will also do the entrance exam. Okay, we will arrange for the entrance exam for you and your siblings too, if you want. Okay, so most of the time we will also do the admission to web program, which is technical program. So for technical program, most of the students, they like it is because you will be trained as a skillful worker, okay, to be able to get a job in Australia upon graduation. So most of the time, if our student, they wanted to go into this kind of so-called technical program, okay, so you do not need to look into the ranking already, because most of the time, technical program is designed for you to work, okay, later on upon graduation. And it's a very low entry requirement program, and most of the time, and the students will be able to get a job upon graduation. Okay, and admission to an undergrad program, as I said, is as usual. Most of the students, once you completed the year 12, then of course with some specific program like engineering, computer science, health sciences, nursing, medicine, there is some specific subjects that are needed in order to enter to this program. For example, if you wanted to do psychology, you need to have physics, biology, chemistry, biology. If you wanted to go into engineering, then you need to have mathematics, physics. Yeah, so if you want to do nursing, then you need to have biology. So depends on your major, and we will advise you as an ARROS consultant to see which major that you are interested. Based on your results, you are qualified, and of course you are qualified for the scholarship too. Okay, and for master program, is also having some scholarships too, and we also do offer loan to our students to apply to Australia master program. And most of the students, if you completed your degree, as I said, you got a media instruction letter from your university, then you will be able to submit to ARROS consultant, and we will be able to get the IELTS waiver approval from the university. But it depends on the university matching after they check on your MOI, your university background, see whether can waive the IELTS or not. Okay, and there is no GMAT required, no GRE required. Okay, and there is so-called genuine temporary entrance assessment test for Australia students, Australia student visa. So you need to answer the question A, that is asking a lot of questions about identifying your motives for studying in Australia, your personal statement, writing your study plan, your future career plan, and there is an interview that required to discuss about your plans too, to identify whether we are really interested to go to study in Australia. Of course, ARROS consultants are very professional in doing this kind of applications and assessment, so do not need to worry on that. So we will guide you through how to pass the GTE assessment. Okay, and of course the student visa process is we apply for an offer first, and then we will get the offer letter. Once you get the offer letter, we accept the offer, pay the deposit, accept the offer, then you provide the IELTS, and then you will get an unconditional offer letter. Once you get the unconditional offer letter, then we'll prepare the visa documents and we will apply for the visa application. Okay, so this is how the whole process is. And of course, all the students that are going to Australia, you will be purchasing an overseas student health cover insurance before you apply for the visa. Okay, and of course there's health exam, biometric interview might be required on case-by-case basis, but no need to worry, we will advise you how it accordingly. And there is also evidence of financial capacities that you need to provide, which is students, you want to apply for student visa, as I said, you need to provide the living cost as a financial, which is 29,000 Aussie dollar. Any partner that coming with you has to add up another 8,500, and any children coming with you has to be add up another 3,006 Aussie dollar. Okay, but of course I would advise do not need to only add on 8,500 or 3,006, because you need to mark up for a bit so that in case any currency conversion has been lower than that. Okay, and of course proof of language proficiency, as I said, generally all the universities for any degree programs or diploma programs, normally they take in 5.5 and above. Of course, nursing is IELTS 7, nursing is 7.0. For business, arts 5.5 or 6, or even though 6.5 is required. For engineering, computer science, and of course you can do CAE, PTE or TOEFL as well. And of course we also have welfare arrangement for the students that are under 18. So if you are actually O-level students that you just finished your high school, you can actually also consider to go to I would say finish this kind of under 18 arrangement. So there is no legal guardian need to come along with you, but as long as you have any uncle or auntie which is 21 years old above in Australia, or your siblings or nephew or niece, they can become your guardian too. Then you do not need to stay in the homestay. But if you're already 18, then no issue. If you are under 18, then you can try to actually apply for the homestay in Australia, which is living with the Australia family. And of course, if there is some students over 18, they want to bring your partners, dependent, as I said, the money is here. You need to show the funding here, and is past 4 months as the bank statement to support for the visa application. Okay. Cost of living, as I said here, depends on which school that you go to. English language studies there is as well. And we have VET program, we have degree programs, master program, and doctoral program. The fees is roughly here for your reference. And we also have weekly living expenses for you to know of. You stay individual rental or you stay on campus accommodation, you stay homestay, is different fee, okay? And some eating out, gas, electricity, phone, these are only for your reference, and also depends on how your personal spending. Okay, and working eligibility, as I said, all of you can work up to 48 hours now for bi-weekly, and full-time during your semester break. No work visa is required. Part-time job per hour roughly $21 to $34. So let's say 1 week you work for 20 hours. So how many you can get? You can get at least $400, right? So this is very good opportunity for you as a part-time income. If 1 week $400, so 1 month you can get $1,600, right? So 10 months, how much you can get? 10 months you can get 16,000 Aussie dollar as a part-time income. So it's enough to cover for more than half of your living costs, right? And if you do internship, per hour rate will be higher. Okay, and post-working stream, which is your postgrad work visa, you get a subclass 485 temporary graduate visa. you get up to 4 years as options, depends on which location and which program that you study, degree or master program. Okay, and of course, those students, if you graduate with your skills, qualification, if you actually have the internship during your studies, then you will be more likely to get a job upon graduation. So conclusion here is Australia is a very good location for study, for work, and for people that you have the financial to live there. It's a very good environment. I would say Tasmania area might not be as high living cost as in Melbourne and Sydney, which is a good location to consider. Then you can consider, okay, to let Aeros know what is your costing, location you preferred, type of program, major, and also your result, so that we can match the eligibility on the scholarships and the university's requirement for you. Okay, so we have actually a very extensive schools list, okay, with Aeros here, and also scholarship, and of course we have master loan as well. So no problem, just let us know how can we help you. Okay, thank you.